Let's understand two very important building blocks, population and sample. These concepts are not only the fundamentals of statistics, but also plays a huge role in data science and machine learning. Let's begin with a story. Imagine a small island which was far away from the mainland, surrounded by clear blue water and dense forest. It was shown in this image, and a few villages are there. Around 1 lakh people lives on this island. Healthcare researchers wants to find the average weight of the people living there. Every people on the island, all 1 lakh individuals together forms a population, right? In other words, the population is the entire group that we want to study or understand. To find the average weight, researchers would have to visit every single person and weight them and record the data. So, in theory, it sounds easy, almost impossible. Some people lives in remote area, so it is an island, right? It is very far away from the mainland. So some people lives in remote area. Some are went to fishing. May into fishing. There will be very limited access to technology. No internet to collect and share data quickly. Population includes such everyone. It is not realistic to gather information from every individual from the place like this where there is no internet, people are not reachable. So what we can do in this situation, where the concepts of sample comes in. Instead of studying all 1 lakh residents, the researchers decided to pick small group, say 10,000 people from 1 lakh. They will carefully select from different region of the island. This smaller group is called sample. Even though it is the subset of the population, the sample data still reflects the overall characteristic of the population. By analyzing this sample, we can get a meaningful insights from about the entire population because it follows the same pattern, same distributions without studying everyone, right? So here we can able to reduce our time, energy, money, whatever sources to collect data. Calculate the average weight of those 10,000 people sample data. They can use this information, average weight information, which we acquired from the sample data, to estimate the average weight of the entire population because it both follows the same distribution. So we can use the information for population also as inferential statistics, using data from a sample to make conclusion about the population. Common example in the real world is election exit poll. Surveyors don't even ask every voters in the country who whom they vote, whom they will vote like that, right? Instead, they take a small sample of voters and use that to predict the overall result. You in election time you can able to see some polls running in the below of the every news channel. They will tell this party will secure this many votes, this party will secure this many votes. These things, these predictions or whatever they estimates will they will go for the sample data and collect those data and give the information about how the population, how the real-time data will work in artificial intelligence and machine learning. In the real world, it is impossible to collect all the data that exists. That would be like trying to weight every person on this island. So the data we collect and use to train our machine learning models is actually a sample of all possible real world data. For example, if we train a model using a million medical images, those images represent only a sample of all possible medical cases in the world, not the entire population. If the data performs well on the sample data, we expect it to perform well on the new or unseen data. How the sample of 10,000 islanders help us to estimate the average weight of the entire population. In statistics, we represent these ideas into simple notation. The population size will be represented as capital N and small sample size will be represented in small n. Population is the complete group we want to study denoted by capital N. Small is smaller subset taken from the group, denoted by small n. We use sampling while studying the entire population. It's not practical. Inferential statistics help us to draw the conclusion about the population data from the sample data. In these notation used in the formulas for population mean, sample mean, variance, and other statistical measures that we'll study later. Thank you.